So hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Venture Adventures. I'm here at the headquarters of Forte Oil PLC, where we're going to be interviewing the Group Chief Executive Officer of Forte Oil PLC. This is the series, Venture Adventures, where I'll be interviewing entrepreneurs to see what advice they can give to us young teenagers who want to become entrepreneurs in the future. So let's start heading in. Hello everyone, welcome. We're in the office of the Group CEO of Forte Oil PLC. I would like for him to introduce himself.
Okay, my name is Akin Akinfemi. I'm the Group CEO of Forte Oil PLC. We consider ourselves as Nigeria's foremost integrated energy solutions provider with business interest in downstream petroleum marketing, upstream services, and power generation. As the Group CEO, I'm responsible for coordinating the overall strategic direction of the business. Okay. The question is, you have to be passionate about something, whether in your personal life or in your business or as a combination of both. Now, you ask me what am I passionate about? I'm passionate about challenges. I'm passionate about resolving issues, resolving knotty issues, problems, and I've come to realize in my life that I am somebody who is a builder. And when I say a builder, somebody who likes to repair things that are more like comatose or things that have been destroyed. So that's why I like problems and challenges, and that's where my real passion lies. So I like to find myself in very difficult situations where I would have to use my wherewithal to get out of those dead-end situations and create something. Now, do I consider myself an entrepreneur? It depends on the way you see things. You don't have to own a business to be an entrepreneur. What is most important is for you to have an entrepreneurial mind. And having an entrepreneurial mind is about being creative. And like I told you before, if you like to resolve problems, then you have to be creative. And I think that is where the real entrepreneurial skill lies. And that's where I would consider myself an entrepreneur, because when I find myself in the neck of the woods, what I like to do is to think creatively to see how I can offer solutions to get out of the neck of the woods. So that's what I would regard as being entrepreneurial in my own definition. So I don't own a business. I run a business for my shareholders, but I have that entrepreneurial spirit to create value for them at the end of the day. And that's where I would say the entrepreneurial spirit. How would I put it? We take risk every day. In business, there's so many risks that you take. And like they always say, if there's no risk, no return, right? And it's the only way to learn from your mistakes. I live by the notion that you must always try things out. The person who actually failed is the guy who didn't try. So you must always try. And if you try and you win, you become a success story. So you have to take risk. I take risk every day in this business. However, these are more like calculated risk, because you also have to be very careful about not eroding the funds of your shareholders. So it's all about looking at the kind of risk that you take and looking at the outcomes, the possible outcomes, and of course looking at the impact on your shareholders and of course all your stakeholders in general, society. So risk are things that have to be taken, but you also have to look at them. They shouldn't be blind risks. They must be calculated risk. That's what I'm concerned. Family life is very important. I have 2 children. I have 2 daughters. We one is age 13 and the other will be there a few months. And one thing I've realized is what I am to so many people in terms of being a mentor. I play a mentorship role to so many people, and I believe that I should be able to replicate that role with my children. I may not be the best, so one of the things I do with them is that I try to be like them. So first of all, the things I do to them is that I always get back to their level. So I wear the same kind of clothes as them. At times I have to dress like them. I have to listen to the kind of music they listen to, so that they first of all must see me as their parents, or as one of their parents. And then once that is done, then they begin to relate to me, because now they see me as one of them. They can easily relate to me. And then after relating to me, we can share their problems, I can advise them, I can guide them towards their career goals, I can guide them towards their aspirations, and most importantly, work with them to actually fashion out what they want to be, because you can't these days, like our fathers used to be, force things on them. You first of all have to negotiate, and you have to manage that process to ensure that they get to the peak of their potentials. That's my advice to parents of these days, in order to be able to get the best for their children. I have a very good relationship with them, and they do take advice from me. They see me as their dad, first of all. They see me as their mentor, even though I try to get external mentors for them, which I think is also very important, so that they don't take advantage of the relationship. But at the same time, they also see me as their business leaders. They're very creative children, and they always bounce off their ideas off me. I always tell them how to turn their creativity into wealth. So that's one area where we work hand in hand. Teenagers, particularly teenagers in Nigeria and in diaspora, have a lot to offer. I was discussing with my chairman about a month ago, and he is of the view that a lot of the Nigerian teenagers living in the diaspora now would end up coming back and building the Silicon Valley of Nigeria. And I actually attest to that belief, and I think it's going to happen. So my own advice to teenagers today is, look, focus is very important. Focus towards that, focus towards what you set, the goals you set for yourself, your aspirations. So you must always keep your vision within that microscopic view, and you keep on checking it all the time to see that you are still within range. Focus is very important in success. I mean, it's everyone's success story, because you cannot afford to veer off. You must know what you want, and you must stand by it. I also think resilience is very important, because we live in a very, very tough environment these days. You set goals for yourself. Yes, you have the focus to achieve those goals or to attain those goals, but you come across so many obstacles. So the obstacles of building, let me give you an example. You want to build maybe a solar plant in the middle of the Atlantic, and there will be so many obstacles for you to cross. I mean, this is just a hypothetical example. It's not real. I'm just using it. But you have so many hurdles to cross. Now, whilst you have that focus, with the kind of hurdles you have to cross, if you don't have that resilience to overcome those obstacles, then your dream becomes a futility. It becomes a futile exercise. So, focus and resilience, and of course, faith in your creator, very, very important towards achieving your goals, I think, as a team. So how do you cultivate resilience? Different people find themselves in different situations where they learn about resilience or how they cultivate resilience. I became resilient as a result of going to the boarding school at a very young age. So for people who are just about to get into their teenage years, I think doing things independently without support from anyone, which you get through the boarding school, is where you get your resilience from. So that's the first one, and I think that laid a solid foundation for me to develop my passion, which is always trying to create solutions to problems. You can also get your resilience from sports. Everybody always asks me, how do you get your resilience from sports? Let's take, for example, running or cycling. You set a goal for yourself. I'm going to cycle or run for 1 hour. No matter what you do, whatever it is, you must meet that target of that 1 hour to cycle or run. You must not give up. And you find out that when you do it over time, you get over and over again, you will find out that you become a very resilient person. Because you just know that whatever goals you set for yourself, sports is one of the easiest ways to build resilience. One of the easiest ways. You set goals for yourself. It's the same thing in business. You set goals for yourself and you say, I have to meet that goal. It is the sporting and competitive spirit that actually makes you develop resilience so that you don't have to. You know that you cannot afford to let yourself down whenever you set goals for yourself. There's another thing that builds resilience. It's very funny, but I don't know whether it will be a way for teenagers to start. But I'll tell you, I'm always very paranoid when it comes to business itself. So I always think that things can never ever be smooth. So even when things are smooth, I feel that there's something knocking around the corner, right? And that paranoid spirit gives me a sense of awareness that I have to guard my defenses, and of course from there I begin to build internal resilience for whatever is about to happen. And then from there we begin to look at problems, so that when problem comes, or when problems come, you're able to develop, you're able to use that resilient spirit that you have developed to now resolve this problem, and they don't happen to you out of the box. Wow.
Jingle jangle.